Okay, we're back, and it's July 4th, 1776. So it's getting together, signing the Declaration of Independence, which again really drew very incredibly heavy from John Locke's ideas, being the political philosopher. And what's really unique with the Declaration of Independence that we overlook today in the 21st century is that at the time in continental Europe, when word got around what had happened, everybody was laughing and thought that there was no way that there would be a group of people who could govern themselves without a monarch, without a king or a queen, because everybody in the continent was being governed by a king or a queen. The monarchy was the rule. So this was really kind of laughable. It was an incredible experiment. You know, people didn't know what was going to happen here in America. So what is significant about the Declaration of Independence and Thomas Jefferson's writings, and by the way, Benjamin Franklin edited the Declaration of Independence, and what Jefferson did, he's borrowing heavily from John Locke, and he's linking together. Remember, from when we talked about John Locke, said that sometimes that you have an obligation to fight for your rights regarding independence, regarding freedom and liberty. So that's what Thomas Jefferson did. And he said to fight for a government based on popular consent in place of a government by a king who had combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws. So, to fight for American independence was to fight on behalf of one's own natural rights. And, of course, as we were taught in school, by signing the Declaration of Independence, everyone was signing his death warrant because this was treason, and the penalty for treason is death. So all of, the founding fathers, this group of men that we call today the founding fathers, in essence signing their death warrant by fighting for their own natural rights and the independence of America. Now, fast forward a few years, and the 13 colonies defeat the world's most powerful country. That's right. Great Britain at this time was the world's superpower. So then the American Revolution ends. Then the Constitution is ratified. Thomas Jefferson becomes president. Now, another name for this period in American history, in addition to Federalism and the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason, is Neoclassicism. And that's the rebirth of the Greco-Roman classics. This is true not only in literature, but also in architecture. That's why if you look at the buildings in Washington, D.C., as well as federal buildings in many state capitals, they imitate the Greek style of architecture. And this was not an accident. People during this time were greatly enamored with all things from ancient Greece and ancient Rome. I know, everybody, hang on. Okay, so now when we start to go through the period literature, what are some of the common beliefs that we will find? Here is a big shift. Natural goodness. The Federalist writers believed that man was born without sin. Wow, what is this the direct opposite of? Who can remember? Go ahead, say it out loud. That's right. Original sin, total depravity. So the Federalists are spinning that Puritan belief totally around. Another one, universal benevolence. We should help each other. Next one from John Locke, tabula rasa. We're born a blank slate, and as we go through life, we accumulate experiences and knowledge based upon our senses. Now the next one, the American belief in perfectibility. It doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how you were born, if you were born poor, if you were born in a belief system that no one else liked. If you work hard, you can rise above that. And this is today what we call the American dream. And this idea of perfectibility, with all these different things combined here, is really unique in America. Now, the next one is a big ism. Deism. What is deism? Deism is not Christianity. That's the first thing to remember about deism. Deism is not Christianity. The Puritans were Christians. The founding fathers of America were deists. So, what does deism hold? Deism holds that there is a higher power. Now, you can call that higher power God, or Allah, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, or Creator. You can call that higher power whatever you want. There's a higher power. Now, what the higher power did, the higher power created the world, the universe, and everything. And then set it in motion and governs it and influences it through natural law, and then left. Deism holds that the higher power, God, Creator, is disinterested in his creation. Now, this is, again, not Christianity. If you're a Christian, you hold that, yes, God did create the world, but is still interactive. Deists did not hold this, that God set things in motion and then left because God's God and God's got God stuff to do. Now, deists were big into mechanism, and the way that they looked at the universe was as a clock. Not a digital clock, I know, but you have to think back in the day, in the 18th century, 1700s, if you take the cover off, the face off a clock, there'd be all those gears and springs, right? How everything is touching something else, and when one thing turns, everything turns, and everything has, interlocking pieces. And that's the way that they viewed the world worked. And all of this was set in motion by God. Now, science, again, here in the Enlightenment, the Age of Reason, Neoclassicism, all these interchangeable terms, science is huge. And by studying science, we learn more about God and how God governs the world through natural laws. So science is not a bad thing again. Science is a good thing, and by studying science, we learn more about God. So in the next lecture, we will conclude our overview of the Enlightenment, of federalism.